Hi, it's Dr. Susan Bernstein from Work From Within with another episode of Get Real About Work. And today I want to get real about a blog post that I responded to about emotions in the workplace. This blog post is attached to, if you're reading my blog, you'll see the blog post that I'm connecting to. It's from the Grindstone, written by Lindsay Cross, and the article is called Emotions at the Workplace, Which Ones Are Allowed? And it's really interesting. She wrote this article, and I decided I had to comment on it. It made me so angry and so upset. Lindsay, in this brief, breezy piece, says, well, she's come to the conclusion in the workplace that some emotions are just not allowed. And she says, happiness isn't allowed. It's not okay to be super bubbly. It's okay, however, to be triumphant. It's not okay to show sadness. That's other people can do that. Don't you do it. She said anger isn't allowed and you should never ever show fear. Lindsay, give me an effing break. Really? Come on. We're living in the new millennium. This ain't the last decade. This ain't the 80s. This ain't the sanitize the world decade. This is the decade of millennials, and I almost think, I'm not sure, I don't know who Lindsay Cross is, but I think she might be a millennial. Maybe she's decided that emotions are off limit. So I posted a comment back to her blog post. You'll see if you're reading this on the Work From Within blog for November 17th, 2011, you'll see my comment. But the big thing that I want to rant and rave about today is emotions. Emotions are energy in motion. They're the way we know the world. And telling somebody not to have emotions is like, trying to turn off your emotions is like trying not to breathe. It's a killer. You need your emotions. Your emotions are your instincts, your impulses. They tell you what's going on in your world. So if you feel fear, there's a reason you're feeling it. Fear is telling you, hey, something's gotten through that's, dangerous, potentially. Yeah, I mean, maybe over-exaggerate fear. But come on, if you're fearful about something, it's telling you something. Or if you're angry is an emotion that tells us that a boundary has been violated, that something that we hold important has been, somebody's violated that boundary and desecrated that. So, of course, we're going to get upset. Sadness, well, we women often mask our anger with sadness. And men actually often do the opposite. They're sad about something, they're hurt, and they'll get angry instead. These are some things that some of us have been socialized to do as ways to cope with our emotional feelings. I don't think this is a great time for us to be sanitized in the world, to pretend like we don't feel anything, like we're robots. Hello. What we know in our world today is that people value authenticity, to be real, to get to each other. That does not mean that it's okay to blow your stack when you're really angry or to weep all day at work. No. But there's such a thing as regulating your emotions, feeling them, but then modulating and toning them down a bit. It doesn't mean don't feel these things, and it doesn't mean don't express it at all. But sometimes somebody does something, like let's say you get angry. Somebody does something, like they call you a name in the office that just doesn't work for you. You just don't go, thanks, teaching, really appreciate it. Baloney! Salami! No! You're going to say, hey, that really ticks me off. That's not accurate. Even if it's the big boss, hello, you want them to know. Now, it doesn't mean getting extreme, but if we don't get in touch with our emotions, we're out of touch with the signals that tell us how to react and respond in the world. So I'm actually furious with anybody who says we shouldn't be paying attention to our emotions, and I'm in favor of people like Ann Kramer, the author of It's Always Personal, who I interviewed earlier on our blog earlier this year, and you'll find the link to that on my blog. She's essentially done research in the workplace and found that, yes, in fact, people take our emotions seriously and they respond to them. In fact, the people who don't like crying the most are women watching other women. Interesting. Maybe we actually need to cut ourselves a break. So while I don't think you want to go full bore out on your emotions all the time, your emotions let you know where you stand and they let other people know where you stand. So I think they're great to have in the workplace, and I want to know what you think about emotions in the workplace. So please leave your comments here on the blog. Love to hear from you, and I promise to respond to your comments. Thanks again. Get emotional. I want to hear from you. Take care, everybody.